What is up YouTube, it's your boy Alex here from Team Generations, and today we're here to discuss some tips and tricks heading into Springfest and competitive season in general. So what I'm doing with this video, I know a lot of different content creators, I mean myself included, we post deck profiles, playtesting, matches, things like that, and just, you know, meta analysis. But I think in general there are a lot of things outside of the game that you can actually do to prepare yourself and ready yourself for a big competition like Springfest, and I think everybody's excited for it. I personally know I am, so that is the real catalyst for this video. And without further ado, let's jump right in over here. And I know my face is probably covering part of the slide, so I apologize in advance, but let's hop right into it. So I think before we even talk about some of this advice, we have to ask ourselves a couple questions. And the number one question is what I'm looking to achieve. So once you answer this for yourself, I think you can start to get a game plan together and just really be realistic with yourself, your teammates, or whoever is going along with you to Springfest. If you're looking to be competitive, you know, you have to just have that mindset. Casual, it's totally cool. I think a lot of people have trouble admitting that they are a casual player. It's totally fine to be. Absolutely fine. This is a game after all. And, you know, if you're just in it for something like simple as personal growth, that's great too. Like, anything you can do to beat yourself, you know, you were at some certain point last year, you know, top 128, now you want to get into top 64, jump a bracket down, whatever the case is. Like, I think that is a great thing to do. So you have to really just ask yourself, what are you looking to achieve before you kind of move forward with some of these other questions. And the reason I ask that, or the reason I say that, is over here is because you have to also reason with yourself, what are you willing to commit? So obviously a couple points over here, there are time considerations. This is a game that takes a lot of time, you know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Practicing takes hours, you know, if you're doing content stuff too, obviously that takes time as well. You have to make sure you sync up with your teammates, things of that nature, and you have other things in your life too, so it is a whole lot to consider. You know, if you want to be super competitive, you have to make sure you're doing time management and just know that, like, hey, look, this is the commitment that I need to make. On top of that too, we do have to talk about budget. So a lot of people, you know, they can't afford whatever it is, or it's, you know, it's a bit of a stretch to maybe get some of the top tier meta decks or whatever the case is. And I think that's fine too, because there is always, this is Vanguard, you turn cardboard sideways, you flip yellow triggers, and a lot of the times you will win. So I think budget is something to think about. You don't always need the best to perform the best, in a way, talking about cost wise, I guess. And then lastly, another cost is opportunity cost. So you taking the time, you taking your money and investing it into this game, what is that costing you outside of it? Do you think you have better opportunities to better yourself in other ways, making sure that, you know, you're either A, healthier, or, you know, you could be making more money, whatever the case is. Like, you have to put this all together and think, like, hey, is this worth it for me? And realize your opportunity cost. Me playing Vanguard is costing me XYZ. So it could totally be a non-issue whatsoever, but I think, you know, when you are looking to achieve a very competitive level in this game and anything in general, you have to ask yourself, you know, what is the opportunity cost? What am I giving up? So let's get into some more of the tips and tricks over here, just things that actually result in some performance improvements, in my opinion. So some tips to improve yourself outside of this game. First off, we're going to start with practice how you compete. So if you are, for example, like a marathon runner, right, and you're running on where we are, Long Island, like we're at sea level, air is good, oxygen levels are high. If I know I'm going to be running an event in Denver where it's the Mile High City, they're up there, low oxygen, I'm not going to train in these conditions to compete in Denver. And the same goes with card fighting too. So the idea is that, I know there's nothing wrong with it necessarily, but I just want to say this, a lot of locals do run a best of 3, right? So what they're doing to their players is they're creating this environment where best of 3 is a normalcy that kind of skews things in a couple different ways, because Bushiroad does a best of 1 as their, I guess, official format, and that's just the way I think it goes for Springfest, for Fall Fest, I know it does. So if you are practicing a best of 3, you're sitting there, you're getting used to the wrong time overall in the round, just naturally, peripherally. I'm not saying check your watch, you can't check your watch or phone or anything like that, I think, because then they might call you for possibly slow playing or things of that nature. But your peripheral time awareness is going to be skewed. Also, your gameplay, best of 3 players, their gameplay is different. So a lot of people think, okay, I can conserve a little bit or whatever, I'm not going to go for this balls to the wall play because I have other matches in this set. Whereas somebody maybe going for broke in a regular who's used to these best of 1s, they'll be willing to take that risk and actually win the game, possibly, as opposed to the player who is not, who knows, hey, look, I have 2 other games in the set, let me just try to win one of those. So I think a lot of the mindset of a best of 3 player can change when it's time to become a best of one player. So I'm just saying, not saying to change your locals or anything like that, but practice how you compete. That is definitely one of the ways. And the next thing up too is no takebacks. So if you're going to be a competitive player in this, and even just a casual player, like nobody on the other end of that table is going to let you take things back. Oh, I didn't mean to call it to this rear guard circle, let me call it here. Like, no. If you're trying to nail down your lists, learn how to play decks, that's totally fine, playing casual with your friends, but when it's time to compete, you have your list kind of settled, you have the idea kind of down, and you're really just looking for fine-tuning in matchups, like, practice with your friends, no takebacks. Like, live with your mistakes, because somebody at the tournament is not going to let you take things back, and that's going to kind of tilt you, and it's just going to change things a little bit. So learn to live with some of those mistakes and kind of improve from there. And then lastly, just mindful practice. So I kind of just touched on this, but what I mean by this is essentially you have to sit there and not just log games. Logging games helps you just get the overall flow of the game, totally fine. But if you are interested in certain matchups, make sure to go seek out that player that you might not play at your locals, or whoever it is. You know, hey, look, I want to play Magnolia. I want to see how it goes against Sorga, or so on and so forth. You get the idea. But make sure that you're practicing with a purpose. You're not just sitting there looking to play games just to play them. Test things. Make sure that you are looking to just pretty much optimize your list and make sure that you get the most out of the games that you are playing, because again, time is a limited resource, so mindful practice makes you a better player 100%. And then next up, this is something I guess more to do with your body. This is routine management. So humans are creatures of habit, and if we break our habit, our body sometimes responds not in the best way. And this is especially true on the day of a competition. I obviously have it up over here, but developing a healthy sleep habit is just one of the key consistency pieces that you need to kind of become successful. Let's say that, you know, it's the night before, you're going to have the jitters. It is what it is. I guess everybody kind of gets this the night before competition, but if you develop your sleep schedule kind of previously and make sure that you're getting good sleep throughout the week, I think that on the day of competition, if you wake up with that same routine, because these tournaments are earlier in the morning, a lot earlier than a lot of people want to wake up for normally. So if you have that routine already set, your body's naturally like ready for it. You know, you're not going to be kind of lagging throughout the day. I know if you're here in New York, I drove to the last one. I was kind of like tired throughout the day. So this time I'm definitely going to have a little bit more of a stricter sleep schedule leading up to the event. And just significant changes to your like daily routine do impact your mental and your physical kind of like well-being or stress levels. For example, if you wake up every single day and drink a cup of orange juice, and then the day of the competition you don't do that, your body might get thrown off just a little bit. Like, these small little things seem so meaningless, but at the same time they're so impactful. I see a lot of people like chug energy drinks the day of, things of that nature. Like, don't do that. Don't change anything very drastically from your regular routine or habits necessarily. And then lastly, controlling your variables. Everything kind of falls under this umbrella, but what I'm specifically talking about, I know you can't kind of see some of the bottom guys over here, but what I'm talking about is just a very basic thing. So at these venues, you have to eat. You're there pretty much all day. Really, really fun event. But I don't suggest eating like the stadium food or whatever it is. Like, you don't want to be eating greasy, hot food, things like that just, you know, gets all over your hands, and it's a pain in the ass. You go to the bathroom, wash it off. You have to wait online for these things. They're going to slow you down, make you tired, lethargic, or whatever. Pack some healthy snacks, you know, granola bars, easy to come and just eat them 1, 2, 3. You know, if you like to fidget with your mouth, make sure you pack gum, sunflower seeds, things like that. And water also. Water is really important. I think a lot of people, you know, you could probably smell it, they sweat and whatnot, so definitely pack water. Your body needs that. It is definitely the most necessary thing, I think. Definitely bring like a water bottle. Next up too, having your room and your ride kind of ironed out ahead of time is so important. So many people stress the week of, the day of, or whatever it is, and they can't even make it to some of these events just because their plans weren't like set in stone. They kind of assumed, oh, this friend will drive. I've seen it happen. It's like really unfortunate, and you want to be able to compete. These bullshit things on the side should be the last of your concerns on that day. You should be, you know, totally focused, and having your ride, room, situation kind of ironed out is just the bare minimum that you can do, but it definitely needs to be said, because I have seen some bad situations with this. And then lastly over here, I don't know if you can even see it if my face is covering this, but being prepared with a deck list. A lot of people, they used to write it, you know, the day of the competition, make some tweaks the morning of, things of that nature, but now we have the deck list online. Create that link ahead of time with your base list. You can go in and just like edit it later if you want to, just making it a little bit easier than just having to scramble on your phone, you know, trying to look it up the morning of when you're trying to like discuss or get in the zone or just, you know, kind of do a little prep. Last thing you want to be doing is sitting there fidgeting with your phone and doing that. And I think my face is covering this one. My final piece of advice for this controlling variables: take a shower, please bathe. Everyone knows the stigma with card players. It's true to an extent, so do everybody the favor, shower that morning of, like, please, please, please. I think that's again one of the bare minimum things that you need to do to kind of enjoy this game. So thank you guys so much for watching so far. Let me know if any of these things helped you out thus far. I really do believe in a lot of these. I've kind of taken a lot of that and applied it to my own personal life back when I was competing in fencing and such, and I'm kind of applying it now in Cardfight. This is just a quick reminder over here, you know, remember to have fun. Like, this is a game. Everybody is super excited to be playing. This is like an awesome kind of community. I really do enjoy this community over some of the other TCG ones. So if you guys do see me at the New York, New Jersey, like metro regional area, come say hi to the team. Totally cool. I promise I don't play it or anything. And just a fun little quip. I was looking for a stock Bushiroad image, and I actually found this one. These are actually my teammates over here. This is Eric, Aiden, and oh god, Jared right over here. So, and I think there's some of the Grim guys back there too. So that's so funny. These are like one of the 2 first images that popped up on Google. So that is really, really funny. Thank you guys so much for watching so far. If you guys do enjoy the content, I ask that maybe you do leave a like on the video. Possibly consider subscribing to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. We're trying to hit that 1K. And if you guys want, follow us on Twitter. We are posting our results from locals every single week. We're posting fun different events that we are running, 2-deck formats, case tournaments, team formats as well. We had a really good showing at the last couple events, so I'm very excited for that. On top of that too, if you are interested in purchasing any cards, we do have a TCG player affiliate link down in the description below. You can chop through that link to help support the channel, absolutely no cost to you. And with that being said, I think I took care of all the house cleaning items over here. So thank you so much. This is Alex from Team Generations signing out.